Are we gonna have a meeting? There's a lot of people standing around here. We're not looking too good. Yeah, but I know real quick, because I have to be, I suppose people.
All right, everyone, I'd like to call this meeting to order. It's 6:04, and I'm sorry for the delay. We had a little technical difficulty trying to get the projector hooked up. So before I begin the meeting tonight, before we start our meeting tonight, I would like to ask everyone to please be respectful of anyone who is speaking. We want to know that everyone should and will be heard during this meeting, so we want everyone to be very respectful of that. I am filling in for your chairman, Commissioner Cullen, Chairman Commissioner Cullen tonight. He has had a procedure today, so he was unable to attend. With that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. We have comments by our members of the general public. We have anyone who would like to speak? Yes.
I have a packet of information for each of you that I have made about the topic I want to address tonight. And this is primarily charitable to our mayor, Mr. Bradshaw. I don't know how many of you keep up with the refugee resettlement issues in our state, but it is rapidly coming to a head. Our governor has until January 21st to tell the president whether or not he will take more refugees into the state of Tennessee. Now, please let me distinguish between refugees and immigrants and illegal aliens. They're all very different. Illegal aliens, you know, we would rather not have them here because of the economic impact. Immigrants, we want them legally, but we can take them and that kind of thing. But those people normally are eager to assimilate with us and adopt our laws and adopt our way of life, our culture, and everything. However, the refugees, for the most part, are not. The cover page begins, and most of what I will say tonight will be what I am sharing from friends of mine across the state of Tennessee who are very much involved in this issue. As I said, our governor has until January 21st to respond to the president with a written letter saying yes or no. Now, all indications at this point are that Governor Lee is going to say yes. And we do know that Madeline Rohero has already sent a letter to the governor saying, please send us as many refugees as possible. I disagree with that decision. As most of you probably know, Knox City is now blue. It's not red anymore. It is blue. And they have multiple reasons for accepting a large influx of refugees. So she has already written her letter, and I know Mayor Kincannon is already in office and all, but she will inherit that letter. The first lady I would like to quote some from is Kathy Henners. She is an expert in the Muslim Brotherhood and the influx of Muslim refugees. The way the president distinguishes between the refugees and immigrants or illegal aliens is whether or not they're seeking asylum. And if you want to seek asylum, it's because there are issues in the country they're coming from. Now, a lot of people say, well, you know, I'm a Christian, I love everybody, and that's exactly what Governor Lee told us at our Cross County Patriots meeting almost 2 years ago now, that he was a very compassionate person and he was a Christian, so therefore, in most likelihood, he would not stop refugees from coming in. Well, please let me urge you to rethink that idea. This is not a Christian or not Christian thing. This is not about hate. It's not about racism. It's not about Islamophobia. It's about preserving our way of life in this country. The refugees that we are taking in do not want to assimilate. They do not want to take on our culture. And I'm sure if you've, been awake more than 3 days in the past year, you're aware of that. It's becoming an ongoing problem. And as I said, they have a lot of reasons for doing that, for bringing in the refugees, and primarily it is to turn areas blue instead of red. As I said, according to the President, he has already issued an executive order. It's Executive Order 13888, and you have a copy of that in your packet. In that executive order is when he has given the declaration to all governors and local and state people. And this is because everyone needs to have a voice in this issue and whether or not we accept more. So the governor said, the governor and the county executive must both agree in writing in order for refugees to be resettled in our county. But now let me tell you something else. If Madeline Rohero or now Ms. Kincannon take up an overabundance of refugees in Knox County, Knox City, she could put them anywhere she wants them. And she could put them within a 100-mile radius of Knox City. That pretty much covers us. So we have to take a stand on this. We have to have a written letter to the governor, please, saying whether or not we do or do not want to take these people. A few days ago, a letter came out, and you will see a copy of that also in your package that says refugee letter built around Blatant Lie. Unfortunately, this was a letter written by a number of evangelicals and churches across the state. And the way they phrased it, they said the vetting process is remarkably successful. Since the Refugee Act of 1980, no refugees resettled to the U.S. have taken a single American life in the act of terrorism. We can be secure and compassionate in welcoming refugees. Well, I beg to differ. There are a lot of people who no longer have their lives. There are a lot of people who are maimed. You have to think about the Boston Marathon. That was Muslim refugees, had been in a refugee camp, and that's what they did to us. There were a number of other people over the last 4 or 5 years that have also done a lot of things. And if you do your research or read on into this paper, you will see that. But I will not belabor the moment with you. However, our Representative Bruce Griffey, who actually is a representative from Paris, Tennessee, over in West Tennessee, is very much up to date with all of this, and he has already submitted House Resolution, or House Bill, 1572, to stop the influx of these refugees. Now, whether or not our legislators will go along with this is anybody's guess at this point. But there's a great economic impact on this. As I said before, the people do not want to assimilate. 75% of them are on food stamps and welfare. 75%. Now, our county is not an indigent county. However, we don't have all the excess funds that we will need to support these people should they be placed in our county. So as a result, I'm just asking Mayor if you will please review this with others that you have contact with, and consider writing that letter to Governor Lee about this refugee resettlement program. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moss. Anyone else would like to address the commission?